Here
Good.
we are.
Hey, how you doing, Karen? It's been
I'm.
forever since I saw you, darling.
Oh, I know. I'm good. Thanks, Nick. So, what have you done since Monday?
What haven't I done? Do you know what? It's
Oh,
actually been quite a really interesting, busy week. Two circles, been decorating a room. You know, awesome week so far. It was great to start the week with a bang, and now we're
yeah.
here to uplift the midweek. What have you been up to?
Well, I've like you. I've been pretty busy. I did a class on Monday afternoon, and I've been doing some readings, catching up with people, trying to get jobs done in the house, and admin. Admin seems to be the bane of my life at the moment. It just never ends. There's always something to send to somebody, an email to answer, or just general getting rid of emails that you don't want. So,
Yes,
yes,
yes, I
yeah,
get
very
that. I
much.
get that. You know, you clear them out, and then suddenly there's another 100 sitting there
Yeah,
waiting that just got to check and bin off. But there's
yeah.
always a little gem sitting in the middle of it all.
Yes, and we have to be careful that we don't actually put those in the delete bin,
Absolutely.
like I did the other week.
Oops. Do you know?
Oops, by accident.
I feel there's a bit of philosophy in that somewhere about the hidden gem amongst all the detritus.
Yes, definitely.
Well,
Yes, there
welcome
is.
everyone to Let Loose. It's your midweek dose of Karen Wood and Nick Brown on SPTV. Richard's in the background, ready to keep us on track and keep us in check. And of course, we are here to chat and give messages from the world of spirit because this is our opportunity to be ourselves and give you connection to the world of spirit. And why am I suddenly talking like a radio DJ? I don't know.
Well, perhaps you want to be one, but we're also doing our healing and remembrance time as well. So,
Absolutely. And she is sitting here next to me, ready and waiting. We
good,
have the midweek, the
good,
Wednesday distant healing book ready to rock.
lovely, lovely. I think it's important to send the healing thoughts and prayers out because there's a lot needed at the moment, I think,
Yes.
and it's important to do that. So, shall we say some hellos? Have we got some
We
people out there that we
shall.
want to call?
I'm sure Serendipity 589 is already here to say hi everyone. So morning.
Morning. Oh, here's Kelly Rocket. Hello, Kelly. Lovely to see you. She's saying hi to Karen, Richard, and Nick. Ah,
Here he is, Mr. Payne himself. Hello, Neil. Morning, Karen and Nick.
morning, Neil.
Have-
Ah, here's the lovely Clara. Morning, Clara. Oh, good morning, Karen and Nick. She said, Nick, you're number one.
Tony, morning, Tony. Tony's just, well, correct that really. I was about to say Tony's just had a litter of puppies. His dog has just had a litter of puppies. Hope they're all
Yes,
right.
I know. How are the puppies, Tony? They look gorgeous with your pictures on Facebook. And here's Pamela. Good morning to you. And it's nice to see you. Oh, your mum.
Uh, and yes, the decorating was Mum's bedroom. So morning, Mother.
Ah, morning, Linda. Oh, say
And
hello, Corey
Corey
Dutton.
Dutt, morning. And don't forget, let us know your name and where you come from if you're new, especially. Julie McVeigh, good morning to you.
Hello, Kim Jones. Nice to see you. Did your mum like the colour when it was on the wall, Nick? Because sometimes you
I
go, actually, I don't like it.
I ain't
Have you
got
done
that
that
far
before?
yet. I've just been prepping, but we're going Magnolia.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yes, you can't beat Magnolia.
you can't. You absolutely can't. Chris Blondell, good morning to all. Good morning to you.
Hello, Susie Pico. Oh, good morning from Canada. How lovely. How lovely to have you with us.
And Caitlin Culross from the Isle of Wight.
Oh, I love the Isle of Wight. Nice place. Hello, Claire Benson. Oh, with our lovely dog.
Love that picture. Love that picture. Speaking of another lovely animal and its owner, Eunice Spinks. Good morning to everyone.
Morning, Nick, Karen, and Richard from Nicola. Hello, Nicola. Lovely to have you.
Hey, hey, hey. And Susan Ross, good evening in Australia.
Yes, it's hello, Miranda Jane Hyland. Hi to you. It's confusing with all these time zones, isn't it?
I know Kim Jones won't have a problem with the time zones though, because she's from Cornwall.
Absolutely. Hello, Corrie Dutton from Bournemouth.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. We like to know how far we're reaching, don't we?
Absolutely.
And Caitlin says she loves these lives. Well, we love them too. That's why we keep
Me
coming
too.
back. So thank you for joining us. And absolutely, absolutely. So, welcome to everyone who has joined us. Uh, Hello, whether we've said hello or not, because we don't get to say hello to everyone because there's so many peoples. But thank you all for joining us. And just a gentle reminder, we do have the option to come on through Zoom to get a reading. You don't have to, but if you come on and sit in front of us, you are extremely likely to get a reading. More so perhaps than if we were throwing it out and you weren't sitting in the background. But of course, we do endeavor to mix it up and see what we can do for as many people as possible. We answer questions on spirituality and then give you a reading. Spirituality, philosophy, mediumship, anything really. I think the only question that I probably couldn't answer is ones related to technology at the moment because I'm having a bit of a bad one. But ask your questions, lead the conversation, and in return, we give you a message. It's that simple. That's our day.
Yes,
But
it is.
remember that if you are going to come on Zoom and ask your question, you are sitting there in front of us, and Spirit will notice that a lot quicker, but we will
Definitely.
mix it up, I promise. So there we are.
I'm going to do some readings with a little bit of a difference today. I've decided to bring my philosophy cards into it. So I'm going to work. I did this with my circle, my class on Monday. So I thought that I would bring it into the group today to give it a go. And so I'm going to start
Cool.
off on a psychic link, and then and if Spirit wants to come and join us, then they're more than welcome. So I'm just going to do something with a little bit of a difference today. So
Uh,
using words in a reading. So
Wow, that's lovely. Almost as lovely as that angelic voice of song
yes,
was inspiring an earworm
yes,
there.
he's
Um,
like a little choir boy in your ear.
Ah, bless you, my
Oh
child.
dear.
Um, dear.
I
And
don't know. I don't
on
know.
that
Yeah,
note,
moving swiftly moving on.
also,
Um,
as Karen mentioned, we are doing the healing and remembrance, which means that we need names. When the time comes, share the names of those who you wish to be entered into the midweek healing book. Um, for remembrance, for healing, for upliftment. And I would be in trouble if I didn't say it on here as much as I used to say it at Little Port, which has now been adopted by our healing leader, Tony. Also, remember to ask for yourself if you are in need of healing, because that's the one person we always forget, isn't it, Karen?
it is. And, we run around and look after other people. And I think it's important that we ask for that. Because if you're the linchpin of your family, or if you've got a lot going on with family members, you need that strength. You need that help. You need that R&R for yourself, that rest and refreshment to sort of keep carrying on. And we just think that we're like the Duracell bunny, that we can get going on and on and on, and we don't stop. I've done it myself so many times, and I'm sure you have, Nick. You know,
Yeah.
so it is important to ask for yourselves as well. And if you've got any questions, because I did my class on Monday, and then it was ask the teacher a question. And we ended up having a wonderful discussion. And it was good because it was midway through the course. And I thought, well, there may be some questions that we haven't covered or something that we haven't covered. And it was all about sort of looking after self and, you know, balance within working for doing your spiritual work and actually um, having your own time as well to relax. And I think that's really important. So, you know,
Absolutely.
so if
Do you know
you've
what
got
I
any
love?
questions, send them through.
Absolutely. And do you know what I love? Exactly how in sync we are sometimes. It's so scarily in sync.
Yeah,
What I didn't say on Monday, which I should have done really, but I've got the opportunity to correct it now. Whilst I was on my sick day, I did tune in and watch for a little while.
yeah.
And as you were doing readings, I could feel them building up with me as though I was
Oh,
working with you like
wow.
I normally do. Because even though, you know, when we're on, if you're
Yeah,
working, I can see and feel and hear. A bit like
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
sharing or when you're going to link in with
That's right.
someone.
Yeah,
Um, and I could feel the links building up with you, and I could feel what they were showing you as well. And you've just talked about working on self. The workshop that I did on Sunday was called Unlock Your Soul, and it
yeah,
was all about working on self. I just love how in tune we can be. Now, now,
yeah.
now we're working together, you know, on an even more regular basis than it was to begin with. I just love how in sync that gets, which is why, you know, it's such a pleasure to come together an extra
Absolutely.
day every fortnight. And
I know.
Lion, healing for the living or for the departed too, both.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
can ask for those that were recently departed to have a smooth transition.
Yeah.
Yes, there's this argument that they don't need it, but I'm sure they appreciate the thought. I'm sure they appreciate that request and that acknowledgement that, you know, I think sometimes we forget, and I think this is important, especially with recent events around where I live, without going into any detail. We aren't the only ones in mourning of the physical existence.
Yeah.
Those
True.
that are recently departed are in mourning of their physical existence. They are going to miss that physical contact as much as we are. And sometimes it's nice to just acknowledge that with a little bit of healing thought going their way, and they will receive it and know about it. And so yes, I strongly believe that we should ask for both.
Absolutely. Actually, a question was asked. I've always remembered questions that were asked in my early development. And a question was asked of a medium. There was quite a big disaster going back, I think, in I forget when it was, and somebody asked the question, you know, people can prepare for their passing when they know they're going to be ill, but what if it's sudden or they don't know that it's going to happen? What happens to that person when they get to the spirit world? And she said the spirit world are there. There's people there waiting to help and to be there for those people that are coming over if they come over quickly. And I've always remembered that, and it's always sort of stayed with me. And it's made me think there's like a maybe like the paramedics in the spirit world that are there to look after the people that suddenly find themselves, you know, traveling in a car one minute and not the next. So that sort of sudden passing, or they may have collapsed and then go. So just so that they're okay and they realise what's happened. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of different um, you know, different opinions out there. But that one's always stayed with me, and that's the way I would like to think of it. You know, that somebody's there to look after them. So,
Absolutely.
oh, I like Carol Phillips. I need relaxing time in a multicoloured, funky camper van with my monkey as co-pilot. Oh, that sounds like fun, Carol. I do love a camper van.
And in actual fact, that's in relation to a meditation that we did a few days ago. Yes, it was. It's been a psychedelic week, and Carol is no longer Carol to me because from now on, Carol will always be Scrappy Dappy Doo. Um, but that's an in joke. We do have, what, we do have some fun in our circles.
Sounds like it. I think I'll have to come.
I'm not even going to say anything about last night and someone seeing some mushrooms. But pink clouds with polka dots and stuff like that going on. It was quite psychedelic and funky groovy, man. I think there's been a few Scooby snacks flying about this week, but it has
Oh,
brought
yeah,
upliftment. It has
yeah,
brought upliftment,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
what we're here to do as well.
We are. We are.
Um,
Yes, yes. So
Excellent.
if anybody wants to come on Zoom, all you've got to do is say Zoom me up, Richard, and Richard will bring you on. And if you would, oh, we've got some questions here. Do you think they choose to go to be a spirit? And do you think we have to accept it in order to get signs, if that makes sense? What's your thoughts, Nick?
Choose to be look, invariably, there's going to be moments in our lives where we have no choice. Um, if something happens, that's it. It's gonna happen. And quite often, I think the reason we need healing at transition is because we want to come back. We don't want to leave people behind. So, whilst it's in the eye of the beholder and the individual, there will be some that will be quite accepting, and you know, there's one particular person that I can think of in my mind right now who is now over there, had no problem with becoming a spirit person, no problem with becoming spirit, going back to spirit, going home as they called it, but would have fought hammer and tong to stay here with those they loved,
Yes,
but had no fear of it. So I think choosing to be spirit, we don't really get the choice when that moment comes.
yeah,
Um, do you think we have to accept that they are spirit? No, the reason mediumship and the reason spiritualism exists is because the signs were so loud they could not be ignored. And so I don't actually think people need to. It would certainly help that process and, facilitate the understanding that spirit are there. But the point is, there were many, many people who believed that such signs and wonders were wrong, illegal, dangerous, mad, monstrous, that have still got them. If you look through the recorded histories of so many individuals, the Fox sisters, for example, who are
yeah,
noted as being so notorious at the beginning of modern spiritualism, they were
mm,
actually Methodists, so they would not have
yeah,
necessarily accepted that to begin with, but those signs and wonders were just so low that they had no choice. The same of the founder of the Methodist Church in the UK. He had equally similar, in actual fact, that the bangings and rappings that he experienced were equally similar. He would have rejected that to begin with, but eventually it just must have been so too obvious. So I think it helps. I think it helps if you accept that your spirit, it speeds up your transition and your acceptance of that situation. And I think if you understand and accept those signs and see those signs for what they are, it will speed up that process. But I think if it was requiring of acceptance, we wouldn't be in the position we are right now. What do
I
you
mean,
think?
well, they say in life there's only two things in life that you can be sure of: death and taxes.
Yeah.
And we know that we're going to go, but we don't know when. And I wouldn't want to know when I'm going to go.
Mm.
And we wake up in the morning and we've got the day ahead, and we book holidays, we plan things, we talk about meeting with friends next week, the week after. Uh, we put dates in our diary to serve churches next year, and do whatever we do because we're being positive. We're thinking about our life. We're thinking about our life and what to do with it. And I don't want to wake up in the morning and say, is today the day I'm going to go? because I've got a lot of living. There's so much I want to do. I want to see. I want to spend time with the people that I love because I love my life. And
Yeah,
I don't want to change that right now. I just want to enjoy every moment. But when my time comes, I know that I'll be reunited with my loved ones, and that gives me comfort. But it still doesn't make me think I want to go and see all my friends in the spirit world or my loved ones. I want to stay here and live my life, and they want me to stay here and live my life
absolutely.
until, you know, and throughout my journey, call it that journey through my experiences through spiritualism, I've had signs, I've had fantastic evidence. So I know there's a spirit world that I will go to. What it's like or how it's going to be when I get there, that's the surprise that awaits us all. Because there's been things written, there's been things said, but there's also been things written and things said that say it's to do with the brain, it's to do with all sorts of things. So I just think it's going to be a surprise, but I don't want that surprise just yet because I'm having a great time here.
Amen, sister. Right. Okie dokie. Okay. So, my friends, and Caitlin, I hope that helps with your answer. Now, we have been made aware that there has been very little sharing and caring going on. Let's do
Yes,
some sharing and caring, shall we? So, we have got a quota to get to. Um, and we want to break our all-time record, don't we, Karen? So,
we most certainly do.
we are going to say it's time to do the sharing as well as the caring. Now, people tend to forget that you can share more than once because you can share
Yes,
it to groups, you can share it to friends, you can share it to your own feed. So get sharing, boys and girls, and everyone in between, because it is time to let the world know that Karen Wood and Nick Brown have been let loose on SPTV. And we are going to ask that we hit our all-time target, um,
oh,
which we've got a minimum as well of 25
yes.
shares. Um, so
So
if you wanna get some readings, get sharing, and think of all those lovely spiritual groups you're a member of that you can bombard a share with. Because it is all about letting people know that we are here. And I think it would be lovely if the world knew that we were all gathering together for a good old chinwag. And I tell you what, we are going to. Have we got any adverts today, Richard? Excellent. So we're gonna have a quick ad break, and when we come back, we'll have had 25 shares, and we're going to give out some messages. And then in a little while after that, we will do our healing time.
we will.
So get sharing while you find out what's coming up on SPTV in the next few hours. So Karen, for the first time today, what time is it?
It's Roland Richard time.
Introducing the SPTV app, your digital spiritual guide, for an enlightening journey like no other. Immerse yourself in a world of audio and visual content crafted to inspire, educate, and entertain. Seek guidance with our card of the day, choosing up to 6 cards for personal insights. Enhance your daily life with our wellness section, featuring nutritious recipes, affirmations, and balanced living tips. Explore our spiritualism section for a deep understanding of the religion, its principles, and spiritual answers. Unravel the secrets of the clairs and broaden your spiritual horizon. Easily find local readers, therapists, centers, or churches with our comprehensive directory. Stay connected with live broadcasts, check our schedule, and get to know our insightful presenters. Delve into the meanings of angel numbers, crystals, and a comprehensive list of divination meanings. All of this and more, available for free on the SPTV app. Download now at sptv.uk/app and start your journey with your digital spiritual guide.
Tonight from 8 p.m, join us for our popular show, Live with Spirit, which offers the opportunity for different readers to demonstrate their mediumship or psychic abilities. Join us tomorrow at 8 p.m, UK time as we welcome Paul Bannister for a captivating live interview and talk show, Spiritual Talk. Tune in for insightful discussions with special guests and live readings that promise to inspire and enlighten.
And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. One of those
We've done that again.
It's like Richard was gesticulating wildly during the break in excitement at the increase in shares that we've had so far. And so therefore, I think everybody figured that. So yes, welcome back, everyone, and it's nice to see Richard's gesticulating and my teeth are falling out. It's nice to share. Thank you, Karen. Say what I was going to say, for crying out loud.
It's nice to care and it's nice to share.
Thank you. I can't speak. There's somebody.
Dear.
It's usually a good sign that I'm getting used to someone else's way of speaking.
Yes.
That is one of the weirdest parts of mediumship, is when they kind of come so close that you start sounding like them.
You feel like your teeth are falling out.
Yeah, it really, really is. So there's somebody ready to come and say hello.
Absolutely.
So my friends, do keep sharing, and remember, you can share to more than one location. Share to your groups, share to your friends, share to the universe. Let them know that we're here. We're doing well.
I've noticed everybody's doing @followers or @highlight, but I also did notice that somebody got a hump about that. So you could, if you've got followers yourself, go @followers, and then you can share.
Yeah, there is a rise in the using of the @followers and @highlight, and not everybody likes it. To be fair, not everybody likes it, to be fair, but it's nice to actually be able to access Facebook today, because this is the point of sharing. We did miss our time communicating yesterday, so it's good to be back, and these things do happen. So it's nice to be able to come together. So this is why it's good to share. Oh, look, I was able to say the word share without tripping over my tongue. Isn't that excellent? I'm growing as a person.
Absolutely.
But yes. Rebecca Woodley, Richard, I donated the other day. Think I'm a VIP. Can you check? Do you know what? I know what it's like when you're dealing with tech. Sometimes it can be rather strange and uncertain. Rebecca, Richard is going to check and let you know for certain.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Are you all right there?
Yes, I'm absolutely fine. Oh, this looks interesting. Gary Lockett. Thank you. A belief philosophy can only be an individual thing. We don't need to agree or compare these standings, because our choice of belief only exists within all individuality. Religions are all imperfect attempts to group this collective power of souls into subgroups. Is there a collective noun for a group of solitude? I don't know. No, there isn't. Now, I'd like to come to this, because this is really something that matters to me. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I totally agree in concept with what you're saying. I believe philosophy can only be an individual thing. Yes, but we can learn from each other and grow our philosophy from each other. And I think there is a difference between hardline enforcement of philosophy and a collective mutual understanding, acceptance, and appreciation, and learning from each other. There's this big thing about spirituality versus religion. The problem with that is that most of the time people are only thinking of one religion when they're talking about
Yeah.
that. There are a lot more religions in the world than just Christianity. And that comes from a Christian spiritualist. So, I get it. What frustrates me is that the spirituality versus religion argument is based on misconceptions based on only one religion. There is a lot of reason to be grumpy about certain religions in the world, and I get that too. And the enforcement of doctrine and dogma, and that you must only think this. I think if people come together collectively to learn from each other and grow from each other without being expected to take on board everything without thought or personal conscience or personal analysis, I think that is dangerous and that is wrong. But I do not see a problem with the collective side when it comes to, say, for instance, a Thursday night at our church in Littleport. We have that collective part together where we're all discussing what happened in the service, chatting about philosophy and spiritual things. And, sometimes it can go on longer than the service because, the service finishes at 9:15. Sometimes I don't get home till midnight and I live 2 minutes down the road, and that's walking. So I think there is a difference between hardline philosophy and coming together. Look, spirituality and religion basically mean the same thing. There are subtle differences. There are some very important differences between spirituality and religion. But at its core, religion is a people coming together to practice a mutual belief. And I don't see mutual belief as being a problem unless it's enforced. That said, my job, my role as a minister of spiritualism is not to tell people who or what God is, but to help them find that connection and that personal relationship with that entity, should they so wish to do it. And the reason I call it a personal relationship and why I don't think religion in its core meaning, not its regularly practiced meaning, is such a bad thing, is that my relationship with Karen is different to Richard's relationship with Karen, is different to Karen's husband's relationship with Karen. Karen is a singular, unique individual entity. She's the same person in all of those situations, but our relationship with that individual is different based on our interaction with that entity. And I think so long as we remember that, we can be okay. I don't believe solitude is a be-all, end-all. I think it's useful. I think it's necessary. As I've been banging on about all weekend, there is much that we can learn from silence. But the point of learning from that science is to share it with the collective group. So is there a collective noun for a group of solitudes? I don't know either. I don't think so, and I hope not, because it shouldn't be forever. And I think so long as we can come together in thought and conscience and learn from each other, that is the best thing. And Ashley's just backed up a difference between philosophy and dogma. I have difficulty with the religion versus spiritually means. That's me personally. Ashley, me too. And sometimes I take it too far personally because I do feel as a religious individual that it doesn't get every religion. For example, one of them is that religion teaches hell. Not every religion teaches hell. In actual fact, Sikhism, there is no hell. And although people say that, and certainly Buddhists say themselves, they're not exactly a religion, they're a way of life. Religion is in the eye of the beholder. They have their own set of rules to follow, which is the definition of. And in actual fact, some Jewish traditions have also rejected the concept of hell as well. And let's face it, Judaism is the granddaddy of Christianity. So maybe the grandchild could learn a little bit from grandpa, you know. But I think we all could.
When
But
you
yeah,
think
that's
about
my
it,
view. What about you, Karen? Sorry,
well, when you
that's
think
something I'm really, really
about it,
passionate about. So I
I
do
know
apologize.
you are. I know. No, I learn a lot from listening to you, and that's what I like about this, because you're Christian spiritualist. I'm Spiritualist National Union, and when you said about everybody's different takes on things, there's so many debates at the moment going on about the seven principles of spiritualism. You know, they're there. They've been there since it was formed in 1901, and but everybody has their opinions on them.
Yeah,
There's been every person that stands in a SNU church will give an address on a principle, but it's their take, it's their aspect of it. So
yeah,
there's all this going around at the moment, and all those people will go into the church and they will listen to that address. They go into another church and it will be the same principle maybe, but a different perspective. So we're growing and evolving all the time with all these points of view. But yes, religion is a very personal thing. Your own belief, your own connection to God is very personal. And so everybody takes all the stuff on board. And I say this to students, I say this to people. You take it all on board, you take it to yourself. What sits right with you at this moment in time? Because that might change in a year,
yes,
because we're changing. But what we need within humanity is to respect each other's religious views and opinions. And if we all came together and picked out all the best bits, maybe, and stopped all the upset and saying, mine's the best religion, no, yours, you don't know what you're talking about. Because at the end of the day, all paths lead to God. It doesn't
uh,
matter if you don't believe at all, because, you know, and this always amazes me. You get people when the chips are really down in life, you find them praying, you find them sitting in a church. You know, that's why they have churches and chapels in hospitals, because when somebody's going through a life threatening, someone you care about is going through a life threatening operation, what do? You pray, because you think you've got no other help, no other hope. So you turn to that power, because you said, well, I might as well give it a go to see if
yeah,
there is an infinite power out there. So
absolutely.
there you go.
Absolutely. And thank you for mentioning the fact that we even though we sit on what others would perhaps perceive as different spectrums of spiritualism, as and I learn from you too, because as we've come to know each other more and more and more, we actually don't. It's just the boxes in which we live in, and we do share so much more in common than sets us apart with titles and
Yeah,
labels and various different things that sit on us. And I think the fact that we can sit here and discuss things like that and still be mates, proves
exactly,
that you can come
exactly.
from different directions. And as you said, reach the same goal, because the Romans got one thing right: all roads lead to Rome. And you're right, and I think it's important to learn the other names and faces of God, because in doing so, I understand my relationship with the one that I reach out to a little bit better. Um, and every relationship deserves strengthening. Trudy Husson says, no matter what religion it is, as long as you lead with love and not judgment, with authenticity. Absolutely. And in
Yes,
actual fact, the
that's true.
before the seven principles, there were the 10 spiritual commandments. They were what was actually given by Spirit to Emma Hardinge Britton, and she simplified and summarized them as the seven principles. And the final one was whatever principles or precepts do not reach to your highest level of understanding, conscience, and spirituality. Reject them and shut them out and go with what your heart says, but remember to be nice about it and follow the ways of living, which was another 10 that Spirit gave her, which was all about compassion and giving and love and understanding and acceptance. So what she was basically saying is, if it doesn't sit right with you, forget it, but just be nice about it. um and you know, what more can you've just said that exactly, the number 10 of the ways of living and number 10 of the spiritualist commandments in a very modern and well said way. So, you know, brilliant.
Here's Jordan Richards, who was with us on Monday. He's
Morning,
saying good
George.
morning. And
I
just
do
don't
love
forget,
it.
everybody, Thursday, Jordan, the Phoenix Spiritual Coach, has a show with SPTV, 6 o'clock Thursday. So tune into that. I'm going to be tuning into that before I start my circle at 7. So,
Ditto.
yeah,
Ditto.
so there you go. There you go.
So I hope
A
that all
philosophy
helped
card
for
for me,
everyone.
please, around work. Okay, Julie, we'll see what we can do in a minute.
There you
We
go.
will be doing some. I think that's sort of like maybe a nudge to do some readings, Nick.
I think it might well be. I think it might well be. He will share the questions that he knows will get me het up, though. But I hope that the original poster of that comment that got me in my favourite zone can understand where I was coming from with that, and that I actually do mostly agree on that. I just think that we put things in too many boxes, and restrictive boxes at that, and words like religion is certainly one of them. We do have a follow-up,
Here we go.
Gary. So if it's a given there won't be agreement about structured religion, can we change the question? Good idea. We acknowledge we disagree about a badge to bear, so let's ask, what is the core of being human, regardless of religious thought? Karen, any thoughts on that?
The core being of human.
Yeah. I think there is a simple answer to that myself. What is the core of being human? Living, existing, and
absolutely.
getting. Can I get away with quoting Churchill? KBO. Google it. I think that's probably the most quickest answer I've ever given to anything, but that is the core. Live.
You've just got to live the best life and try and be the best that you can be. That's all you can do. That's my thoughts on it. Be the best that you can be.
Absolutely.
Okay, Julie, I will give you a philosophy card. I have them here. Right. Ooh. Okay. Now these cards were created by my friend and mentor Janet Parker, and they are just a list of words. So I'm going to use the words that I feel drawn to, and they're all words beginning with N. So we have number, need, never, nuisance, next, and new. So okay. There's a need. I want to go to need first, Julie. There's a need within you at the moment to find a little bit more fulfillment in what you're doing with regard to your work. And I do feel that I'm going to use the word nuisance in a different way. I feel that you are finding everything a bit of a nuisance. It's sort of things are annoying you. You're getting the hump with stuff to do with work. You're getting frustrated. And when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to get up, you don't want to go, because it's starting to be a nuisance. The situation around in this workplace is being a nuisance to you, and you're struggling with that because you don't like it. You don't like feeling like this. So I think that you have been sort of looking or thinking about what's next for me. And that's the word. And I think you've got to think carefully. And I also feel that in the work situation at the moment, you've been sort of feeling a little bit undermined. So it's sort of pushing you down with regard to your confidence. So I feel that when you think about what's next for you, I think you've got to sit down and think about all the wonderful qualities that you've brought to this job so far, all the things, all the wonderful things that you've done, and make a list of those and see what is next for you, because I feel that there's some thoughts there of about a new challenge for you, something new. And I want you to sit and think about maybe branching out in the work that you do. And also, I feel that you've been overlooked in some way to do with perhaps a promotion, or you haven't received the credibility for what you've done already in the job. So I think you've got to start thinking about your best qualities. And this is just not in this job. I feel all the qualities that you have that you've had in other jobs as well. And I feel that I keep getting caring and sharing and caring here. So I do feel you share a lot of yourself, and I do feel you care. And I feel that caring, something about the care profession or to do with caring that you have to do within that job. And you're getting the hump with people around you that maybe haven't got the same sort of diligence that you have in your work. So I think you've got to sit down. And when you start getting these feelings within any job, I think that you've got to start thinking about, what do I do next? How do I move forward? And unfortunately, when we hit a certain age group, and this is for men and women, we do start looking at our careers, and we do think about how far we've come and what we want to do with the rest of it. And I also feel that there have been thoughts about sabbaticals or some break from what you've been doing. So I don't know if you want to sort of take a break or change your hours or do something in so that you can you need to sort of um, look at things in a different way. I think if you stay where you are, you've got to look at things in a different way and have a new mindset to that. But if you decide to move and decide what's next, then I feel that you've got to then just don't just jump into the similar sort of thing. But I think what you've got to do is think about, hard what you want to do next, and think about all your qualities that you have, and think about where you want to go. But you see, the choice is yours. I can't tell you what to do, but the choice is yours. But I think you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. And you've been holding something back as well. It's like you've been swallowing, like keeping something down. And I don't know if there's been a situation to do with somebody, but I just feel that that's been that's also been around. I'm being made aware of a lady that steps into me now. I don't know if you'd understand your mum in the spirit well, but I feel it's mum, and she just wants to give you a big, big hug, because I feel that she says that you need it. Now, I also feel that mum would have had issues with her chest, and I don't know if she had problems with swallowing, but I just feel that there's issues around her chest. You have mum's wedding ring, so please let me know if this is making sense to you. And I also feel, Nick and I were laughing about technology early this morning, but I want to do this now. So I don't know if mum typed or worked in an office, or if there's issues to do with technology around you. And I feel this could be connected with the job, whether they're going to be changing things and it's all getting a little bit too techy for you, or you don't like it's not so, you don't like the formality of it. It's all changing. So I feel you preferred it being a little bit more informal. And I feel that you're trying your best to deal with all this stuff at work, but it's just getting a little bit too much. So I think you've got to think about what you want to do. So I hope that helps you.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Bless your heart.
My
Wonderful.
pleasure.
Wonderful. There you go. Julie says yes. I does.
Oh, good. Good. That's okay.
Absolutely brilliant. Well done, mate. I love those cards.
Yeah, they're good,
Uh,
aren't they? Soul
oh,
inspiration. Soul inspiration.
absolutely. I'm disappointed one of the ends wasn't Nick, of course, but we can't have everything our own way. Candy Casper, Sydney, Hector, Jersey. Did I just say that without making a mistake? Hello, I just picked up my phone and you were talking. Is that a crazy sign or what? Wow, there we go. We really are starting to fill the world with love and laughter. I love that. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. But well, I love those cards. Yeah. I have to have a look at them. I have to have a look at them. Right. Yes. It's funny because earlier on I was feeling a build up and my teeth were becoming something like trip zones. And then suddenly, Candy, yeah, but I got it all right. So I'm quite excited, Candy. Because I'm terrible at reading out things on the internet. And I always trip over it. And yet I didn't with you. I'm being, right, okay, someone who was good with words, and I think their frustration towards the end of their life with not being able to say them. There may have even been some joke about spewing out, and this is, I do very graphic imagery here with the description, spewing out their teeth all over the place because they were getting frustrated with that, and it took them a while to get used to their presence. On the flip side of that, this person was someone who did experience a lot more. I think that there would have been issue with the coughing and with the chest, because I'm feeling that build up around here, but they're not. They're really, really quite sweet as an individual. Thank you. She is a very sweet individual, because she's very much aware that these things, if they're put too much on us, they can become very heavy and burdensome and hard going. And lovely qualification of your reading by there from Julie. Well done, babe. This lady was a multitasker, by the way. Then go on, say it, aren't they all? But and this is her. She knows her sayings, but she's able to do this, read this, acknowledge this, talk about this, and so she would be holding court with half a dozen people, and she'd be able to jump between conversations with ease. And she's helping me out because she's not enforcing these things on. So I know she's learned, and either she would have been aware of this way of life in her physical state, or she's just a very quick learner, can adapt to the situation. This woman who is a motherly figure, bless your heart, darling. I know that the pain up here would have stemmed from right down here, and I can feel it right down behind the bottom of my lungs. So it went all the way down here. And she's just very kindly got rid of that for me as well, because she was a gentle, nurturing soul, this mother figure. I want to speak to someone who is in that daughterly relationship with her. Once again, mothers, grandmothers. This sounds very much like my nan to Tracy Pollard. Tracy, would you understand that you've been feeling this? A similar burning. It's almost like indigestion. And she's saying, don't worry, it's just wrong eating hours, just wrong eating hours. Would you understand that you have not been looking after yourself as well as you should? And that it gives rise to concerns of similarities that are unfounded and unwarranted, by the way. And there's a real stern seriousness about her when she says that, because when she was holding court and putting people right, if she wanted to make herself heard and known and identify that she's making a point, you knew it. And then as soon as you accepted that, she was back to that gentle nurturing. See, there, I'll leave it alone. I won't labor it. So if you could let us know, Tracy, if you can understand that. Very quick-witted, was very, very sharp-tongued in a fun way, not a nasty way. And always, it's like that old saying, isn't it? Oh, you should hear her. She's always got a good word to say about everybody. Yes, you should hear what she has to say about you. They're really good words. Tracy Pollard says totally agree. Thank you very much. Then, based on what you've said, I'd like to work with you, Tracy, because I do feel drawn to you because there was this comment about the Rebecca is also saying that she can understand that as well. So let's have you both. She was the matriarch of the family, says Tracy. Right? Okay. There was this comment about the NHS, and I know that you've got NHS in your screen, so I'm trying to separate that out for a minute because I saw it on the screen before saying it. Okay. Okay. She's talking about one of you would understand eating what she calls weird stuff. And by that she's talking about vegan. Because I've got to tell you, naughty boy, I had a packet of something that was vegan chocolate. And she's looking at it and she's saying that's half their problem, that weird stuff they're eating. They're not eating the right quantities of what they should be eating at the right times, and they're eating too much of that weird stuff rather than the proper stuff. So pre-processed and vegan chocolate, I've got to give as one of the things that she's really annoyed about. Maybe yeah, okay. Maybe because it's being eaten at the wrong time of day, too early, too late before bed, she's saying. So I don't know whether one of you could understand that. And Tracy says beautiful but stern. Yeah, that's an absolute. Rebecca works in dementia care and eat weird stuff. Okay, so there would be a name. I work for the NHS and she was an Anglo-Indian, right? Okay. Yes. So one of you would have connections to a person called Lucy, and that there would be an anniversary in relation to either yourself or this lady in May. And I'm talking. I'm talking towards the end of May. So there is a mutual acquaintance or a friend or a connection to someone called Lucy and this anniversary in May. And there's also something about a necklace as well. You know, Richard will tell me off if I call it that. She's trying to trip me up and get me in trouble. I've got to say this for sure. And what she's saying to me is she had funny, witty names for things that could be given into the realm of double meaning. So when it came to things on ears, she would call them something that could get me in trouble. Tracy says I'm a night owl and work nights, so eat when I shouldn't. Okay, I was see if the Lucy and the Lucy and the May it's nearly gone because I've given it already. The Lucy and the May should kind of identify which one I'm with. But what I'm going to do is, because you seem to be very similar figures, it's quite likely that her advice will be appropriate for both of you. But it really is about stuffing what everybody else says and getting on with it for yourself and making sure that you come first. Rebecca says birthday in May for me, but no Lucy, thinking maybe with Tracy. Thank you, Rebecca. You might, because this woman was very, very good at giving out advice, I've got to say. So listen anyway, Rebecca, because she might give you some advice that'd be useful for you. Because she sounds like she's the kind of person you'd resonate with at the very least. But specifically for Tracy, I've got to say, bless you. You're welcome, babe. Tracy, you have Lucy was my cousin that passed in the early 90s. Bless you. Thank you, Tracy. Looks like the matriarch's taking care of it. Yes, right. Okay, the advice. Okay. There was this element of distraction, and she used it. Um, I took my glasses off, paused a moment, and it was to reel you in and to make sure that you were listening, to make sure that she'd got your full attention, and then give you a wink, and then really, really go for it and give it to you. And this is what she's got to say. You know what's right, you know what's wrong, you know what's good, you know what's not. You fight your corner well when it comes to injustice, and you certainly fight your corner well when it comes to the injustice done unto others. So why do you do yourself an injustice? By not looking after yourself. You are a bold, brave, and wonderful woman, and she is proud to have said that she had a hand in your development and growth as a person. But now start applying that to yourself, please. Yes, you're great at looking after everyone else, but remember, you can help more people if you take care of yourself first. And in actual fact, knowing the personality of this woman for a few minutes, I know this means a lot. So, Tracy, for you, I'm sure this is probably going to mean more. Nan says, I am honored by your bravery and feel so touched by your strength, and to think that I may have had a hand in that pleases me greatly. And there was that slight hint of the teeth there with the pleasers. So I think there was there was still a little bit of a squeak with the teeth there. But it pleases me that this words like that sounded a little bit different. Pleases me funny. Pleases me fully, sorry. And she is absolutely in awe of your strength. Please apply it to yourself. Otherwise, I will come and I will kick you. Her, not me. I won't come and find you and kick you because I don't do things like that, but she will. That's for sure. I'll leave your love, leave you all of her love, and say God bless you and thank you for listening, Tracy. Take care.
Oh, that was so. Do you know what? I could feel that lady's emotion as it was really quite emotional. That was. Oh, thank you. I love her so much. Oh, that's lovely. That's a lovely message for you,
Bless
Tracy.
you.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh, that's your teeth. She knows your pain. She knows your pain. Bless you.
Okay.
Bless you.
Richard, have we got any VIPs on? Is he there?
He's gone for a coffee.
Okay. Have we got any VIPs on, please? Let us know you're a VIP. Okay.
Yes. Gonna say
Okay.
Rebecca would be a VIP
Okay, Rebecca. This
by
one's
default.
for you. So, let me go to Rebecca because she nearly got a message there. So
Yes.
I'll go to Rebecca. Okay. So Rebecca, so she thinks so this is your first VIP reading, Rebecca, okay? So listen well. Yeah, me VIP. So the words on the card are will, wonderful, warmth, wait, want, and winner. Do you know what? They're all very positive words there. And the first one I want to go to, Rebecca, with you is warmth. And I just, I'm going to do a little bit of a philosophy thing at the moment, but I feel that you hate being cold. I feel that you like to be warm. And I do feel that you have a lot of warmth in your personality and you are a very giving person. And I also feel that you sometimes have been wanting in your life the warmth and the love and the support back from others, and it's not always been forthcoming. And it's like you've been waiting. It's like at the moment you're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting. And I feel that you have a lot of wonderful qualities within you that you sometimes forget to acknowledge. Now, I know you've actually been on with us on Zoom. So if you want to pop on and be a face-to-face guest, you know, so you can have the reading face-to-face, all you've got to say is Zoom me up, Richard, and Richard will get you. Type Zoom me up, Richard, and Richard will get you on. But I'll just continue with this because I just feel, and I just want to give you this song, It's a Wonderful World. And I do feel that there was somebody in the spirit world, a gentleman in the spirit world, a grandfather in the spirit world that loved that song. And I don't know if he sang it or he played it a lot, but it's a wonderful world. And I feel that song resonates with you. And I feel that when you hear it now on the radio or whatever, you sort it makes you think of this gentleman because I feel that he had a lot of warmth and he was a very positive man. Oh, she's coming on. Wonderful. So and I just feel here that that song is very prominent, and I also feel that somebody may have played it at a funeral. So we've got Rebecca coming on, everybody. So she's just connecting to audio, so she can. And it's nice to have people come on so that we can talk to them directly. So I'm just going to take a little sip of my water.
That's it. And
Thank
here
you,
she is.
Richard.
Cheers.
I've got a countdown.
Hello, Rebecca. Are you
Hello,
all right?
Karen. Hello, Nick.
Right.
Hey, doll.
So you can understand what I've said so far. Yeah?
Yeah.
You can understand that. Okay. And would you understand the song It's a Wonderful World? I think it's by Louis Armstrong.
Yes.
Yeah, you can understand. Wonderful. So I just feel it's this song is really prominent for you. And I feel when you grew up it was played because I feel somebody had a record, an actual record. Do you remember? Would you remember?
I think so. I'm not too sure, but I think so.
Okay. But would you remember the warmth and the security you felt in your grandfather's presence? Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just feel that he's a very warm, caring man. And
Hi, Pa.
does that make sense to you?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay. And I also feel with him that he was a very hard-working man as well.
Definitely.
And I just feel that he worked long hours because I see him getting up early in the morning and coming in when it was sort of dark at night. So I feel when he was working age, he did work very hard. Would you understand a watch that belonged to your grandfather that is still around? Do you understand your grandfather's watch?
Yes, I think maybe, but I think that's where he used to live with my aunties.
Right. Okay. So I just feel something about a watch that's still here, but also he
Right.
was a bit of a stickler for time. Do you understand
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to go back to the words briefly, but he's still here and he's giving you a lot of support at the moment.
Hello, Pa. I used to call him Pa.
All right. Okay. Well, he's just giving you a lot of support at the moment, and I feel that he wants to. I don't know if he said this to you when you were here, when he was here, but he's actually the word wait. So, and he's saying he's turning it into patience.
Patience is a
So,
virtue.
yes, patience is a virtue, and he's saying that sometimes you're not as patient as perhaps you should have been. Do you
Yeah, that's
understand
right.
that?
Yeah.
And he said you were always when you were always the child in the back of the car. Are we there yet? And you'd only just gone down the road. So I
That's
just
it.
feel you've always been a little bit impatient in life.
Yeah.
And he said sometimes we have to wait for things, and sometimes we have to take things slowly. So I just feel there must be something around you at the moment where you're getting a little bit impatient about waiting for something to come through, either the email or the post. You've been sort of waiting for something to
Yeah.
come through. And he's saying, just be a little bit more patient. Just wait.
Okay.
It will come,
Okay.
but you just need to wait. Now, as I work with the word warmth, I feel that around your grandfather there would have been. I've got him making something that I love in my house, a fire or a wood burner. Would you understand an open fire?
When I was young, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Because I just feel there was always an open fire because I can smell I can smell the coal and the wood and everything, and I know that he would have done the fire. And would you also understand that somebody would have done toasted something on a fire as well? Does that make
No,
sense to you?
I don't understand that one.
Right, hold on, let me just pop that to one side.
Yeah.
Would you understand a camping holiday or something to do with camping?
No.
Right, hold on. But I just feel with your granddad, there was something to do with him camping or something to do with where either he was involved in the scouts or something like that, where it was involved in campfires and camping.
I'm not sure. Maybe when he was younger, my
Okay,
granddad brought me up, you see.
right. Okay, okay. Don't tell me too much.
Sorry.
But it's all right. It's all right. But would you also? I just feel he came out with little sayings as well because I've got
Always.
where there's a will, there's a
There's a
way.
way.
And he wants to say that to you as well. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I
Okay.
just feel with him that he sort of he gave you the basis for your life moving forward.
Yeah.
And I just also feel that he was very kind and he was very giving,
Yeah.
but I feel that you had to have table manners and
Yeah.
you had to do as you were told.
Yeah.
And if he said come in at 6, you had to be in at 6, not too
That's
fast.
right.
And he said she's still not good with time even now.
No, it goes
So
too quick.
I just feel that sometimes, and he's laughing about that. Would you also understand the name of Paul? And I think Paul may be here. Would you understand a Paul?
I know a Paul, but
Right.
I
Okay.
don't know very well. So
Okay. Okay. So he's just giving me the name of Paul. So okay. Why are you giving me Paul? Okay. Um, would you understand that Paul needs a little bit of support at the moment? I just feel that Paul might need a friendly ear or a little bit of support at the moment.
no,
Just
sorry.
remember that. Just remember that your
I
granddad
will.
said that. But I also
Yeah.
feel your granddad did suffer. I've got chest and I've got back. I've got problems with my chest and problems with my back. You
Yeah.
understand that? And
Yeah.
would you also understand that you've been having a few back issues? You've been. I don't know if you were bending over to get the washing out the machine or something, but I just feel something. Your back twinged, and he says, "Now you know how I felt." Um,
Isn't he awful?
He's
Bless
taken me to
him.
September. I want around the 22nd of September for an anniversary or a birthday or something around the 22nd of September.
I'm not
And
sure on that one, but I can
now,
watch out for that one.
would you also remember? Okay, okay. So I'm just going to give you this one more thing, and then I'll bring it to a close. But would you remember a favourite teddy bear that you had, Rebecca?
Yeah.
And I can see it going round and round in the washing machine. So I
Can
don't know
you?
if he got put in. I don't know if he got put in there by mistake, or or Granddad said you never let go of this teddy bear. It was a sort of like a love of you love this teddy bear.
Yeah. He's over there.
All right. Ah, right. You still got him. You still got him. Well, perhaps he's saying he need. So anyway, take your granddad's love and
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
thank
you,
you for
Pa.
working
Thank
with
you,
me. My
Karen.
pleasure. My pleasure. My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Richard. Thank you, Nick.
Nice to see you, doll.
And you all. Have a good day.
Bless her.
So do you
Wonderful.
bless her?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Because I remember Rebecca tried to get online one week but couldn't because it just
Yes.
wasn't having it. So it's
Yeah.
nice to fix that. Speaking of
Yes,
fixing
definitely.
things, we can ask Spirit World in the hope of fixing things sometimes. We don't always get what we want, but we definitely get
No.
what we need because we are, of course, talking about healing. And it is
Yes.
time for that healing moment of ours. Richard, I believe we have a little infographic about that one. So what do we say, Karen?
Roland Richard.
Well, my friends, it is time for the healing. So we have got a couple of people who've thrown in some names, but I know the way it works. Once we mention it, you will start sharing your names. And so if you would like a name to be entered into this here book, our Wednesday healing book, then now is the time to mention it. And we will send out our thoughts to all those in that book. And we send out our thoughts as they're mentioned too. Do we not, my lovely Cameron?
We do. And don't forget yourselves as well, as Nick said earlier, because giving healing to yourself is also important. So we have Corrie Dutton, who would like some healing. So healing is only a thought away, and it's just Eunice would like Maddie, who had a small benign brain tumour, has had her op, seems to have gone well, and she was watching Thomas the Tank Engine. She is only 3. Oh, bless her heart. So I am certain all the healing worldwide helped. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Eunice asked for healing for her amongst the various groups last week. And I'm just reminded, of course, that we were watching Thomas the Tank Engine theme tune at church on Thursday night. I've been a
That's
bit
right.
obsessed with.
I remember you saying that. Tracy would like, so it's Tracy's friend because she would like healing to a friend that is on his journey to spirit and to his family and friends to support them through it too. Absolutely, Tracy. So that's Tracy's friend and family.
No problem.
Naomi Brown would like some healing.
No relation, I must say.
Neil would like healing for Raph Robson, Cammy Golden, Michelle Payne, Pete Robson, and Neil, as he's got hospital appointments over the next 2 days. Don't worry, Neil. Our love and thoughts are with you and your family.
Absolutely.
Kazza would like some healing.
My Kazza in the house. Of course, we'll go
Kazza in the
away.
house.
Absolutely.
Linda would like healing for Helen and Jonathan.
Our cousins from the US of A. Absolutely, yes.
Lovely. Leslie Lang would like some healing for herself.
Absolutely right to ask.
Angela Washwood Bella would like healing for her mum who's battling with cancer. It always amazes me how the vibe changes when we're dealing with healing.
I know.
Hello, Kim.
Kim, hey.
Hello, Kim. Uncle Leslie, Jacinta, the Marsham family, Kim, Dawn, Kazza, Noel. Don't worry, Kim. It's on the way. It's lovely to see you here. That wonderful energy from the spirit world. Claire Benson would like healing for her mum, Mari, her brother Martin, and her sister Jane, and strength for herself, and remembrance for Dad Brian. Yes, don't forget everybody. If you want to remember somebody in the spirit world, put their names in, and we'll also send remembrance out to them as well.
Absolutely.
Because there may be some happy heavenly birthdays, or these things mean a lot to us and also our loved ones. Leslie would also like healing for Stephen Bain, her brother.
I like how we've got our flow going now. You read them out
Now, haven't
with
we?
the writing. We've figured it out now.
We have, yes. Healing for all those that need it, and especially those who are struggling in silence. And that comes from Trudy Hassan. Thank you, Trudy.
Absolutely.
Oh, Linda's just said Sharon because she's got poorly eyes at the moment.
My big sis.
Sam B would like healing for the big hairy boy Shadow, absconded last night. Now his back legs don't want to work well. Poor baby. Oh, bless him. Oh dear. What a shame. Sue Parry would like healing for my cousin's husband. Lisa Biggs would like healing for Tony Biggs.
Fabulous. And thank you. And we will transfer that list in slightly neater handwriting into the healing book after the show. And so here we go. Thank you all. And let's send out our healing thoughts to all those mentioned and everyone who is in need, including those that have no one to ask for themselves. We ask now. Ah, lovely. And so, if you are interested in sending out your healing thoughts on your own, collectively, or you know what, if you want one of these yourselves, they're actually available on Amazon. Look, there you go. Bless his heart. Richard's a good boy. He made that.
Yes.
The Distant Healing book, exactly the same as what we are using here and now, right now. It's available in hardback and paperback. And also, if you want to record your journey, there's Inspiritualations, which is a notebook with inspired quotes midway and all over the place. And the journal, a big blank hardback book with loads of space to put your own thoughts in. So you can send out your healing and record your journey by making use of those 3 books if you so wish. And so thank you all for being part of that. And as I said, when I'm done, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to sit there and write all those names in neatly and make sure that I continue to send out, as we all do throughout the week, to all those names and more that have just been mentioned. Because this is basically become the Wednesday healing book. This is our let loose healing.
Let loose. Healing, let loose.
Healing, let loose.
Let loose. Yes.
Bless you.
Yes.
So thank you all for that. And I believe it's my turn to send someone some love from their loved ones. And it's interesting actually, because I had to make a note of something whilst you were working. That somebody needs to grow from this. Somebody needs to grow from this. And I was so afraid I was going to forget to say somebody needs to grow from this. This is who I need to speak to needs to grow from this. As for who I've got with me, I do know that, thank you. I've got a gentleman with me who would have suffered with a chest condition. I am inspired to say heart. Certainly feels like it. I know that this person would have always had a runny nose. It's so frustrating. It's constantly streaming. And because I can feel like it's doing, maybe you would have had sinus problems, something like that, or was always coming down with a cold. But I know this gentleman was also someone who liked to talk, because I've noticed that my speech pattern is starting to increase and becoming more rapid. So I know they had plenty to say. There's something about Blondie, so I don't know whether who I'm trying to talk to is Blondie or whether it's to do with the singer, because I know there's a singer Blondie. But there's something about Blondie, this gentleman with a heart condition, streaming nose, and he just keeps sitting here saying, "Sleepy, go bye-bye." I know that towards the end of his life, and this is where I thank you for slowing me back down to a more steady rate, because I would never have maintained that even with spirit driving. Towards the end of his life, it became more obvious that he was slowing down because he was such a fast-paced gentleman. And the slow down, and he just literally says, "It felt like I just wanted to go sleepy, go bye-bye." And that's exactly what I did. This gentleman of a wonderful character, as he thank you. I know that he's got a bit of a tickle, but then it's the emotion part, because he didn't handle emotions well. As I look at him, thank you. This gentleman was quite a slender man, not wiry, but nice and comfortably slender, with a huge amount of physical strength in his earlier years that carried over emotionally and mentally too. This is a guy who was pretty well fixed up in his head, and he knew what he wanted, knew where he was going, knew what he was doing. I do know I keep seeing something about surgery. It's almost like I can actually see what's going on during a. It's like I can see. How do I word this? Okay, Amanda, can I ask? Thank you. She says, could be my dad. He died of a heart attack. He was slim and called me blonde. Right, okay. Um, would you understand a memory link about somebody either waking up during an operation or being a part of an operation, seeing an operation, maybe even helping with some kind of emergency procedure at the side of the road kind of thing? But I just keep seeing something about seeing an operation. He had surgery on his neck beforehand. Would you be aware that he was awake and could see it, or woke up during, or something like that? Sometimes we don't always know these things, but there's something about this seeing the operation, and this may be why he's talking about going sleepy, go bye bye, because it's like that feeling of not being able to control myself drifting off. So it could be to do with the anesthesia, is why he was putting it like that. But nonetheless, he woke up just after the doctors got a shot. Thank you. I knew there was something about being awake, or being not kind of normal procedure, and this sleepy go bye bye feeling as he gave me, it felt like induced. Thank you, Amanda. That's so kind of you to confirm that. I've got to say, there's something about pink and blue. Pink and blue. He keeps going on about pink and blue. It's a lovely color combination, but it's not for him. So I don't know whether there's somebody who wears pink and blue around you, whether it's you or someone close to you. But it's about, he's just letting you know that he's here by saying that pink and blue combination, or it might be a pale grey, because I am a bit colorblind when it comes to spirit. Shocked as they thought that he shouldn't have come around in his sleep, and he passed months later in his sleep. Thank you, Amanda, for that confirmation. You know what? He's just said, best way, mate. And he's such a lovely guy, because he's kind of like having this conversation with me rather than, it doesn't feel like work. And I think this is one of the great things about his personality. It doesn't feel like work. And it's just the best way to go, mate. Best way to go, mate. Don't know anything about it. Don't feel a thing. Yep, best way. And he's such a straightforward, dare I say it, in the most unaccurate accent, tone, and vernacular, solid geezer. Proper solid geezer. But he just he was only about 54, had a massive heart, and just didn't wait. Bless him. Thank you. He wants to go back to the very first thing I said. Grow from this. And this is where he does get a little bit more, firmer in the conversation. There is something going on around you. It's obvious because of what he said at the moment, where it's either just finished or about to finish or resolve. And he's just saying, grow from this. Grow from this. Be a little... Okay. Be my little angel and grow from this. It's almost like he's kind of trying to cajole you and convince you and schmooze you into towing his line. Not that he would have ever done that sort of thing, of course. but I do feel he always saw you as daddy's girl. And Amanda, he just wants you to grow from whatever it is that's gone on, and just says, I'm watching, I'm with you. I am absolutely certain that you've got this covered. And he gives a big old thumbs up as if to say, I know you're going to do it. And you feel him, oh, wonderful, bless you. But you are definitely daddy's girl. And he says, grow from this, grow from this. Be a little angel. Be a little angel. He is starting to step back now. He always sees my spiritual side and got me. Oh, bless you, absolutely. He is talking. I know you said you're doing spiritual stuff and the holistic side. He keeps going back to the healing book. He keeps going healing, 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 healing. You got this. You got this. Healing, healing, healing. So I think what he's trying to say is you are the right kind of person for healing. So whether you've considered that or not, I don't know, but I think there would be wisdom in what he's saying, because he seems quite obsessed with the healing side for you. And he's applying it to you rather than requesting it as well. I've got to give you an anniversary. There's one coming up actually in April, not too far away now. And also, would you? What is that? Oh, I keep tasting aniseed with him as well. Um, hate study, bless you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. I struggle with that, but yes, there's this taste of aniseed with him as well. So I'll give that to you, and he's just saying, keep going, keep going. And I will say, God bless you and thank you for listening, and take all of Dad's love with bounds and boundless joy for you and everything that you do. And I'll say, God bless.
Oh, oh, that's lovely. That cracking piece of evidence about him waking up during the operation, that was brilliant. Well done, Nick. That was amazing. Good, brilliant.
Oh, that was strange to see as well.
Yes, yes. It does happen though. It does
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Oh, birthday, my sister's birthday's in April. Thanks.
Ah, yes, yeah. Wonderful people are born in April. Did you know that?
Yes, I know someone's birthday coming up. Facebook's very good at letting us know these things.
Yes, yes, yes. That's true. Okay, so I have a gentleman that's been sitting here very patiently with me. Um, he's not making me aware of the relationship as yet. Oh, she just said amazing. Thank you. And it was amazing. Well done with him. I know that this gentleman has got issues with his spine, and I feel it obviously affected his legs. And I do feel there was a wheelchair that he had to go in towards the end of his life. I feel there was a lot of emotion with this gentleman because I'm feeling that emotion with him. And this card was on top. And the words that I've got on this card relates to this gentleman, but they also relate to the person that he's connecting with. And I've got love, leadership, lonely, loyalty, lost, and legal. So I do feel that this gentleman, when he was here and he was in this wheelchair, there was a sense of loneliness around him, because I do feel before he went into the wheelchair, he was a very outgoing man. And I feel he's younger. I don't feel that he passed at an old age. I want to say sort of 40s or 50s when he went to the spirit world. See, lots of April birthdays going on
I
here.
noticed.
April's a fantastic month to be born in. Us Arians, we should stick together. Okay, but this gentleman here, there's just this sense of loneliness. And I do feel that he felt lonely, even though he had people coming to see him, he felt lonely within himself. It was like he'd lost, and he'd also lost, obviously, he'd lost his mobility and he'd lost the active side of his life. But I feel that he was a little bit of a philosopher, and I feel that he was a very eloquent man with his words, because he's making me sort of I mean, I don't speak too fast anyway, but I feel he would think before he spoke. So I just feel that this is either a cousin or a brother. That's what I feel at the moment. So I don't know if this is making sense to anybody. But I also feel that there was a big sense of loss when he went over to quite a large group of people. And I feel he had a large friendship group, because I feel that he's, they did try and rally round him, and he is aware of that. But the person that he wants to link with, is feeling a little bit lost and a little bit lonely at the moment. But this gentleman was a very loyal friend. So I just feel there's loyalty with him. And he respected loyalty and other people, if other people were loyal to him as well. So I don't know if this is making sense to anybody, because we've got a youngish gentleman here that suffered with his spine and his legs. And I feel that he went to spirit in his sort of 40s or 50s. He wasn't that old when he went. And I think it was sort of like one of those conditions that sort of like just wears you down gradually. Um, okay, so Rebecca can understand that. My dad, that sounds like very lonely after my mum died the year before. Can you understand the legs, Rebecca? Because yeah, it's definitely, I want the legs and I want the wheelchair. That's what I want. It's something about the legs and the wheelchair that will get me to where I need to go. So whoever can understand this, they've got to have problems with their spine and legs and was in a wheelchair, because it was the mobility that caused the issue. So I don't know if this makes sense to anybody out there. Okay. Have we got anybody that can take the spine and the wheelchair, Richard? I know that is sort of, pardon?
Had trouble with his legs though.
Oh, trouble with his legs. Okay. But would you understand that he didn't go out, Rebecca? I just got this. I think he was in a wheelchair in the end, wasn't around at the end. Okay. All right, Rebecca. Let's just see what else he wants to say. Would you understand where loyalty was very important to him? And he's also saying that loyalty is very important to you as well. And I feel that there's sort of loyalty issues around you at the moment. You're questioning who can you trust, who's loyal around you. Um, but this gentleman just wants to say, you missed his passing. Okay. I just feel he wants to send you his love. He really wants to stress that. He wants to send you his love, because I feel that he's talking about distance. So I don't know if this is distance in space, or whether you didn't see him for some time, because I feel that he feels a little bit sad about the distance that you had between you. And also, would you understand that there was some legalities around as well? Some legalities around, but he, I just feel that he changed slightly um, before he passed to the spirit world. I feel that things got he was overwhelmed by his condition, and I feel that he sort of gave up a little bit. He gave up, because I feel before he was quite positive, but I just feel a sadness and that he gave up. But he just wants to let you know that he really, really does love you. It's important that he says that. And he wants you to don't feel, he doesn't want you to feel lonely. He doesn't want you to, he said, you have got some loyal people around you. He said, and I don't know if you've been sort of like tunnel visioned in a situation around you, but he wants you to sort of take off the blinkers and look around you and see what you do have in your life. And he's trying to sort of move you. Yeah, lost connection. My dad gave up. Okay, you can understand that. But he wants you to move forward, because he doesn't want you to give up. He doesn't want you to give up on you. Don't give up on you, because he gave up on himself and he doesn't want that to happen to you. He knows that you've been through some tough times. He knows that there's been some legalities or something around you. And he's saying, just do one. When you look at situations, make a list and do one thing at a time. And I made a list earlier today, and I've been ticking off all the things I've got to do. Because when we look at the whole, we think, I can't do it, I can't do it. But he's saying, yes, you can, if you break things down. And he's saying, when he was in his right frame of mind, that's what he did. He used to do one thing at a time, and he was quite diligent in that. But when it was like when he couldn't move, when he couldn't get out, when he was struggling, it's like that's when he gave up. And he said, I shouldn't have given up, but I did. And he's sorry for that. But he doesn't want you to give up on the situations around you and your life. He really wants you to he wants to send his love, and he wants to send a lot of positivity to you. And he wants you to think about all the things that you have achieved, and he just wants to send his love to you. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps.
Beautiful.
Ooh,
Yes, you're
bit of
spot
emotion
on.
there.
There's qualifications for you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rebecca Whelan says, yes, you're spot on. Absolutely. What a beautiful reading. It never ceases to amaze me just how much spirit can touch us all listening, as well as those that are involved in that situation. It is what creates that connection in that moment. It is the message for everyone, isn't it? That moment of realizing that the compassion and the kindness and the love and the support and the absolute sheer frustration that we humans have with each other just goes out of the window in those moments of compassion and kindness. And you've just reminded me of that, Karen. So thank you. Yes, if anybody does want to jump on and join us on Zoom, we still have space in the green room for you to pop through and say hello, should anybody wish to do so. And of course, remember that we have got lots going on in SPT. I know Let Loose isn't the time for the advertising of what's going on in SPTV as much as we do on a Monday, but I've got to say this: TikTok. Get on TikTok and follow SPTV on TikTok, because look at that. That's a one. You know, it's almost like Richard had that graphic ready there in case we mentioned it. There it is. It is absolutely important that you go along and find your TikTok and you follow SPTV's. It's at SPTV.uk. Oh, hang on. Good job. The graphics up. My camera's gone again. Bear with me. But yes, it's absolutely essential that you go along and follow that, because we want to go live, don't we, Karen, on TikTok?
Yes, we do. And I think we've got up to sort of over 500 followers now. So we need to make it to 1,000. And I know all you lovely people do that. You know, tell people about SPTV. I was at a party on Saturday, and my other half was telling everybody about SPTV, bless his heart, and talking about TikTok. He's not even on TikTok, but he was talking about it, and YouTube. So, you know, even when you're out and about, and you know, if you know people that go on TikTok, then tell them to follow SPTV as well, because it's amazing how this wonderful channel can help and support, not just what we do with the hosts, but also the support and the love of the family as well. And this is a wonderful, diverse channel. There's lots of things happening. And on Monday, we have a special guest. Because we touched on hypnotherapy this Monday just gone, Richard has managed to get a lovely gentleman called David Carson to come on and be a guest. And he's a hypnotherapist. So we're going to be asking him questions about his work. and you can come along and ask your questions. So if you've thought about having hypnotherapy for about maybe giving up smoking, or you want to try it for other reasons, we're going to ask David all about what he can do to help people under the hypnotic state. So don't forget we've got lovely David coming on Monday at 10:30 on Start Your Day. So you just can't get rid of us, you see,
I
on
know, and
Sundays.
it's brilliant. I love David. Uh, we had him on the show when I was in a previously arranged marriage, because Richard does like to pair me up with
Yes,
these wonderful ladies. Although
yes.
I want to keep in this marriage if I may. Oh, and Crystal
Don't
Rose says
worry,
I
I'm not
recently
going. I'm
downloaded
not
it.
going.
Good. Yeah, I'm better.
I'm not going.
The alimony is a pain as it is. I've recently downloaded the SPTV app. It's brilliant. Well done, Crystal, and thank you.
Oh, thank
But
you,
yeah,
Crystal.
we
Yes.
had David in a previous marriage, and he's such a lovely guy. Do not miss him, and I cannot wait to see him go to work on you, Karen, because
Oh,
he experiments steady.
oh,
He experiments on us and uses us as examples to show people how the things he does works. It's absolutely
oh,
brilliant.
I say.
Um,
Oh,
yes, that's a really good question. Richard has just said for everyone, what would you like to see on TikTok? Because obviously we want to use the live function, but there's so
mhm.
much more functionality within TikTok that can be used in different ways. Obviously, there's shorter video availability and that kind of thing. What would you like to see as part of the SPTV TikTok account, so to speak? What content, what deets would you like to see on that wonderful account there of the SPTV UK on TikTok? Let Richard know. He's the man to influence. He's the influencer. He's the one who will let you who to let know what you want to see on there. He'll make it happen if it's in his remit and if it's doable and if it's hygienically viable for the internet. Um, if he says if it can be bothered, but we know that he bothers, we know that he cares, and we know that he does a darn good job. I'm
Absolutely.
so glad you managed to keep that throughout that, keep
Yes.
that image of Nicola on there, that question of Nicola on there, because I do want to come to that, and I'm aware that I'm not going to be the one entirely answering it, because the more I read it, the oh, Claire Benson, dance moves for TikTok.
Oh, do
Yes,
you know what? Do you know what, Claire? You must be psychic because I was thinking about um s- all of us doing some dance moves. Isn't that funny? You read
absolutely.
my thoughts there. I thought we could get a little video of all the hosts sort of doing a Michael Jackson thriller cut type thing on TikTok. That's what I was
I love
thinking.
that. That would be awesome. I'd be up for that. I'd be up for that. Um,
I can
you
just
know,
see us all now.
absolutely. And speaking of dancing and songs and everything, um, I- as as I was linking in, I kept getting strange as it seems. There's been a run of crazy dreams, and someone who couldn't. I know I've paraphrased that bit and come off the tune, but I don't want to get in trouble. And someone who could interpret could go far. Um, and this is in relation to Nicola, your question. Do you think there is a certain pull for someone to return to spirit? My nan passed on the same day as my mum, but 2 years later. At that time, she had dementia and never knew the date. You would be surprised what people with dementia do know. It has always been my awareness based on experience that people with dementia are closer into spirit than they are in the physical.
Mhm.
Dementia is a condition of the brain, not the mind. The mind is a reflection of the soul and the spirit, and in order to protect the mind, it's allowed more freedom within the spiritual realms. And so people will be sitting there saying, oh, I saw so and so the other day, or who's that walking through that wall there? All stuff like that. And people will look at them like they're funny, but actually, they are naturally able to do what we do. So there would be an awareness, not necessarily a directly applicable um, awareness, but an awareness based on who they're talking to, like your nan and your mum. And so the reason I'm saying this is not through, a connected example. This is what this lady who's with me is wanting to say. I might not have known the date, but I knew the moment. Um, excuse me. Give me a second. This is a lady who would have had. Do you know they're all throats today? There's past that she was visiting her every day. Yep. And this is the thing, that there is that connection, and so they would be, emotionally aware, and she would have definitely been emotionally aware of the importance of that date. And some people do find it a sweet reunion, when, especially when they're struggling with the physical, and it's we've all heard somebody we know say it was a blessed release because it was just so difficult. And this lady who I've got with me, I don't know whether it's one or other or both or somebody completely different. But I know it's for you, Nicola, because it is in relation to that. And I'm inclined to say that it's one of the two that you mentioned. And I've got problems in the throat, I've got pains in the stomach, and it's like, although I'm not entirely aware of the weight of that physical burden, it's heavy, and I've had enough. And thank you. The lady that's with me would have struggled when it came to saying things that were difficult. Because she didn't want to hurt, she didn't want to harm, but I was ready. And as much as I wanted to stay around for everyone that was still here, I felt tired. I'd had enough and just wanted to be free again, because this is a lady who was very free. Oh, bless you. That cough was the image of my nan's cough. Bless you. Do you know, I've noticed the more and more I do, especially online, they do overshadow and make use of, and my favorite word of the month is gesticulate. And gesticulate wildly for me. And they do make me gesticulate in the way they would have done it. Because when she first came through, you can't see it, but I'm sitting here holding on to the arms of my chair for dear life. And it's not that I'm holding on to keep myself in it, in the sense of I'm worried of falling out. It's holding on to it because I'm ready to jump out of it. And it's almost like when I sat in a chair, I wanted to launch it looked like I was about to launch myself out of it, because this was a woman with such great energy and passion and power and freedom and strength and courage in her well life. And so it would have been even harder to see that impression of dementia shadowing over, and that's an interesting way of putting it. Thank you, darling. Excuse me. She's really going for it with this, though.
She is, yeah.
That overshadowing dulled the real me. It was a dulling of the real me. And when she had her lucid moments, she was a bit peeved about that. And she very nearly caught me out, and I very nearly said something that I shouldn't have done then, because I do know she had a naughty nature, a naughty side, a bit of fun, a bit of laugh, and she was always trying to wind people up. And as she comes back to more of who she was before all of that, the energy is there, the boundless energy is there, the strength, the courage. And now we know where you get it from, Nicola. Even though you don't always acknowledge it yourself, you are this boundless bag of energy and fun. And she loves watching you when you are at your best, because you remind her so much of her, and the strength and courage and the freedom that you stand for is, you fight for what you believe for what you fight. And she is just so overwhelmed by how wonderful you are that she wants you to know, I am absolutely backing you 110%. She takes me back to that song, Strange as It Seems, There's Been a Run of Crazy Dreams. You would understand that somebody's been having some pretty weird dreams lately. Look at the details, she says. Look at the details. They might not all be from us, but we can have a hand in it when the time is right. So do look at this run of crazy dreams. 93 when she passed.
Wow.
Do you know what? She don't feel a day over 25. Seriously, this energy, you would, when you look down at someone, like for instance when they put their hands on there and they're overshadowing you, you look down, you can see age is there, but the bones of her were just iron. The bones of her were iron. The core of her was iron. And absolutely, she has got this true. I mean, there were times she'd grit her teeth because she was getting so, chewing on it. And when something really wound her up, she would chew on it. I'm not doubting that at all, because I can feel it in her. But she has just got this absolute drive and determination to be your backup. She says, I'm behind you. I'm every step of the way, and I am I'm your backup singer, your backup dancer, and anything else. No, I'm not going to mention the baseball bat behind the door, just in case as well. So she's there for everything that you need. And she says, Nicola, just get on with it. God bless you. And I'll see you soon, she says. She's around all the time. And when she says, I'll see you soon, she says, I'm going to be watching. And yes, I will have the baseball bat in hand just in case. No, she hasn't, but she's watching all the time, and she is going to keep an eye on you. And she says, so you might not always see me, but I always see what you're up to, young lady. I'll leave her love with you, and I'll say God bless and thank you for listening. And thank you for allowing me to work with that lovely, lovely lady.
Oh, wow. Wow.
She's a boom moment, she is. I love her. She's a gutsy, fiery, strong-willed lady.
You could feel that. You could feel that strength. You really could. She and you could just sort of visualize her from what you were saying. Yeah, she was definitely a force to be reckoned with. So, that was lovely for Nicola. So that's good. There you go. I can't believe it, Nick, but I think our time is up.
I know. Would you, Adam and Eve, we've gone through 2 hours and not missed a beat. It has been an absolute joy to be with you again, Karen. It always is. And of course, the wonderful Richard in the background, keeping us on the straight and narrow. We haven't had as many misdirects this week, so I think we're starting to get in the pattern that he wants for us.
Yes, I think he's been very quiet today. So
which I think so long as we get on with it, he's happy.
Yes. Yes. So I've enjoyed being let loose with you and Richard and our lovely SPTV family.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back on Monday with Start Your Day with the lovely David Carson. So I'm now a little bit thinking, what will we let ourselves in for Monday? But so come and see everybody, come and be with us. And of course, there'll be more shows on throughout the rest of the week and over the weekend.
Absolutely.
I think Clara's show is on Friday. There'll be demonstrations, what have you. So keep looking, keep watching.
And there's a movie tonight, yes.
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, well, come and support Cindy. It's her first time as a host on SPTV, and she's coming all the way from Canada to be with you. So come and support Cindy. Send her the love, because, it's difficult sometimes when you're first night, you think, oh, God, am I going to do this? So come and send your love and support to Cindy as she works on SPTV for the first time. What time is that, Richard? Is that at 8 o'clock, everybody? So
And when you get, yes, Jordan, who we had on Monday, he's at 6 o'clock tomorrow, his first show as well. So here's the thing: there's so many wonderful new shows popping up all over the SPTV network. It is absolutely
that's
amazing.
great.
Do come along and support Jordan. Do come along and support Cindy tonight at 8. Don't forget, you've got lots going on throughout the week. Let Richard know what you want to see on TikTok as well as the dancing. But tonight, 8 o'clock, dive straight in and share the bajinky what's it out of that stream. Give Cindy all the support in the world, because we know what it's like, Karen and I, for it be our first time. And I know that you guys at home sharing the love, showing the support really does make a difference. And we always appreciate it. So thank you from me, and God bless you.
And thank you from me, and look forward to seeing you all again on Monday. So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. Take care. Bye bye.
God bless.